Hi, everyone. I'm Nigel Bennett. I'm co-founder of Aqua-Guard Spill Response. What I'm going to do today is introduce you to our company, a little bit on where we came from and our product lines and our services and our global reach. And yes, I'm going to do that through a PowerPoint presentation and be able to send it to everybody so you can view it at your own leisure. So just bear with me for 1 second here as I am going to open up the presentation. So thank you again for taking the time to listen to this presentation. Our company, again, it's Aqua-Guard Spill Response. Our mission is to protect the world's most precious resource, which is water. Aquaguard was established in 1992 by myself and two other partners. Since that time, we have been extremely successful and very fortunate to be able to have a business and expand our business into 104 countries around the world with over 3,000 clients. Our organizational structure currently is it's myself as a shareholder, and I have another partner, Cameron Jans, who is our CEO. And together with our team, here's our key our members of our team here on this organizational chart. You can review it at your own leisure, but I'm just going to click through it right now. It just gives you an idea of our corporate entity and our manufacturing abilities. So everything that we do is manufactured in Canada. We are based in Vancouver, Canada, on the west coast. We have our head office is in North Vancouver, and we have other facilities around Vancouver and another larger facility in Coquitlam, just outside of Vancouver, where we manufacture some of our larger offshore machines. We also have patents, and we're an ISO certified company, and we have certification from DMV to ASTM standards, basically stating that what we say our equipment does is actually certified to do what we say it does. Also, over the years, we've had various awards and nominations, and in many many parts of the world. In 2016, 2017, and 2018, and up to today, we were voted best spill response equipped OSR oil spill response vessel offshore Brazil with our partners there called Asgard Navigação. Out of about 48 different companies that are operating offshore Brazil, we were consistently rated number one with our large offshore equipment on board the Asgard vessels. So, yeah, we've had various different types of innovation awards, ranging from technology, technology that we've developed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with what do we do best? What does Aquaguard do better than anybody else on the planet? And what that is our skimming technology. And what that it's called our RBS Triton skimming technology, oil skimming technology. So we have various patents for this technology. We have a Canadian and we have an American patent. And this technology is able to recover 300%, so three times more than our original oil skimming systems, which were RBS. So the RBS Triton systems are our patented systems that are able to recover 300 times more with exactly the same recovery efficiency, 98 to 99% oil. So very, very little water. As you can see here, here's one of our larger systems. It's operating in an oil spill in Cuba. And with this machine, we're able to have a rotating brush, which rotates through the surface of the water and the oil. The oil sticks to the brush because the brush is oleophilic, sticks to the brush, and it actually repels the water, so it's hydrophobic. And so we're picking up 98% oil, and it's scraped off, put into our system and pumped away into storage. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the different types of oil skimming systems that we manufacture. So our small machines are for calm, protected inshore waters, and there are smaller machines. As you can see here in the photograph, the two at the front, the RBS Triton 10 and the RBS Triton 20, are our two smallest machines. They're also our newest machines. The RBS Triton 35 and the RBS Triton 60 are slightly larger, but they're also used for inshore. The RBS Triton 10 and the RBS Triton 20 were specifically designed for the Canadian Coast Guard. Aqua-Guard, we just revamped all of the Canadian oil spill response bases across and around Canada, and there's about 90 bases where we replaced all of their oil skimming systems with RBS 10s, RBS Triton 20s, and RBS Triton 60 machines in many, many different locations around Canada. So, our RBS Triton 10. So, why do we call this an RBS Triton 10? The RBS Triton 10 correlates to the recovery rate of oil. So, this machine is 10. It's more close to 11, but we call it an RBS Triton 10. It's a RBS Triton 10 oil skimming system. It's small, it's compact, it's able to be carried by one person and deployed. And the Coast Guard wanted us to have it in a nice compact package. So we have a container where we have the skimmer head system here and a power unit and a pump system that all go inside the container with the hoses. And this can be helicoptered into a remote site. It can be put on a truck or put on a small aircraft, or just there's forklift pockets so you can lift it and put it on the dock or wherever you wish. But again, this is our RBS Triton 10, our smallest machine. It can be also dropped down inside a barge, inside the hold, and to pump out barges if required. Now we have the RBS Triton 20. Again, why is it called the 20? Because 20 cubic meters an hour of oil it is able to recover at 98% efficiency. So very, very little water. This machine also, if wanted by the client, comes in a sealed aluminum container. And there's a skimmer head here. And the skimmer head has a brush system for heavier oil, has a drum system for lighter oil with some debris, and a disc system for light oil with lower amounts of debris. Higher capacity is able to be recovered by the disc, a little bit less by the drum, and high capacity with the brush. The power unit is here also. It goes in, and this is the pump system, which also goes in with a contained hose system and float system. So the complete package is here, ready for instant deployment. Again, RBS Triton 20, 20 cubic meters an hour recovery. Here's a shot a little bit closer up of the disc system, the drum system, and the brush system. Also, there's a fuzzy disc adapter that could go in here as well, which is able to pick up very light diesel fuels and things like that if required. An aerial shot here. Thought this was a nice shot to show you of some of the systems going to the Canadian Coast Guard. All the skimmer heads are lined up. A couple of the containers, the pumps, and the power units all together. So to get an idea of the size, so the RBS Triton 10, as you can see here on the left side, it's a small machine, could be picked up by one person. The RBS Triton 20 is also a smaller machine. It can also be lifted by one person. So that gives you a bit of an idea, a bit of the scale. The RBS Triton 10s and 20s and 35 and our 60s can also be used in a current buster type situation. This is being used for a demonstration with some foam by the Canadian Coast Guard. Mhm. And now we go to our RBS Triton 35 system. 35 cubic meters an hour. Actually, you can pick up about 38, but we call it a 35. That's This system is used all over the world. Many oil spill response contractors. This system here is a little bit heavier. It's about 49 kilos, the skimmer head, about 108 pounds. So it's a little bit more difficult to carry with one person. So what we've done is we supply, if required, some stretcher pulls that go in to the handles. They slide right down and they clip with a clip, and you can have two people lift this machine and carry it into place. You can also use these carry poles for lifting the pump system and the power pack system and the hose system, if so desired. As you can see here, in our C machine here, this is the RBS Triton 35 without the stretcher poles. These are the stretcher poles here that have gone into one of the power units to help transport and move the power unit around, but could also be used on for carrying the skimmer head. Now we have the RBS Triton 60 cubic meters an hour. Also can be carried by two people. Again, these stretcher poles can be used here. As you can see, this is in Brazil. Our clients are using this for an API separator to recover oil in a separator. So 63 cubic meters an hour. The skimmer head weight is about 64 kilos, a little bit heavier, and 140 pounds. Again, all of these skimming systems can be used with a brush, a drum, or a disc system, all easily interchanged without any tools and extremely quick. So if you are working in heavy oil and then you've recovered a lot of the heavy oil and it gets down to a thinner oil, or even sheens, you're able to take the brush out and put in a drum or a disc. Aqua-Guard has now developed a sheen recovery drum system that is able to recover sheens. So now you're able to put this carbon. It's a carbon-based drum inside our system and recover sheens. Again, all our systems are air transportable. If the client desires, we can supply a storage container, which can be heli lifted or put into a small plane, and again onto a truck. So they all come as a complete package, very easily transportable. If our client desires a trailer system, we build trailer systems to put together the complete package. So on this trailer system, as you see, this is for a RBS Triton 35 skimmer head. So we have the skimmer head here. We have a pump system. We have a power unit, hose reels, some storage boxes to store some containment boom, also some absorbent material, and a little davit crane for lowering into the skimmer head into the water, the skimmer head and hose system into the water. It can be coupled to a containment barrier system, as you can see here in this river. This, I believe, is in South America, where they're using it for training. So they were able to have the whole system here on the bridge, and they were able to lower the skimmer head in underneath and couple it up to a boom system, creating a funnel and able to recover the oil and pump it back up into your tankage and storage here. It's a trailer system. So now we go from the smaller systems up to an RBS Triton 150. So this is 150 cubic meters an hour of oil recovery. These skimmer heads are quite heavy and quite a lot larger than our smaller systems. So the weight of this is approximately 365 kilos, about 804 pounds. These systems have an internal pump. We use internal low pumps, which are able to recover or be able to draw in extremely heavy viscous oil and pump and push that that oil through a hose system to your tankage. This system here was used. This is in Venezuela. There was a spill in Venezuela several years ago where this is Francisco Jimenez. He's our regional manager for Latin America. He and our team, and I believe our CEO, Cameron Jans, and some others were down in Venezuela where the Catatumbo River flowed close to the Colombian border, and the FARC guerrillas had blown up the pipeline. So our teams were there with many of our machines with our local partners, and we were able to deploy the machines and recover the oil, while the militia um, was able to keep the FARC guerrillas back in the jungle, and able to protect our people that were working there. So this was an ongoing, this went on for months and months and months, recovering extremely heavy oil in extremely difficult conditions on the border between Venezuela and Colombia. As you can see here, the RBS Triton 150 machine also comes with a trailer system. So we call it a 150T. T is for trailer. And so this system here, similar to the smaller system trailer, we're able to have the skimmer head on the trailer. We have a crane, a hydraulic crane, and our power unit, and a hose reel system, and a storage box for absorbents or tanks or whatever else you may need um, to respond to a spill. This system here is again, a 150 trailer system supplied for the Western Canada Marine Response Corps here on the west coast of Canada. They have several of these trailers placed around our province on the coastline to be ready in the event of a spill. Again, skimmer head, internal low pump, very um, uh, good pump for recovering heavy viscous oils at a high pressure. And you have the crane, power unit, and hose reel system, and storage box for various items. Other types of trailers, we have boom reels, trailers. This is in the Middle East, in the UAE, where our partners there have had trailers for many years, and they use them consistently for um, on standby and for responding to oil spills. So now I'm going to go to our open water solutions. So this is offshore. This is equipment that we use and have the ability to use offshore. So we have our 150 RBS Triton 150 machine again, but this is an OS offshore system. This system is a little bit different than the 150, as the skimmer head is the same size. The brush is the same size. Again, it's interchangeable, a brush and a drum and a disc, but we have propellers on each side, thrusters. So you're able to have a remote control, and you're able to drive the system into your apex of your oil booms and recover oil off the side of a ship or a dock or a pier. The unique piece to this is our newly patent pending floating hose system here. So this hose here is neutrally buoyant, and we run hydraulic lines through it. So we're able to run our skimming system and our onboard low pump system. And also there's a discharge hose inside here. So we're able to pump back through, back into the ship. So we're able to pump back through, back into the ship storage. This is on the west. This ship is here with WCMRC here in Vancouver on the west coast of Canada. Recently supplied. So that was our 150 machine. Now we go to our 300 machine. This machine is quite a lot larger, but we call it a URO, excuse me, a URO machine. It's able to recover 300 cubic meters of oil an hour. It's two 150 brushes are in this system, with a large low pump inside the system. We build a crane system which is able to extend out 6 meters over the side of a ship or a barge. And again, a floating hose system, which you're able to lower into the water, up to 90 meters of hose, which is a lot of hose. Not really necessary, but some of our customers wish 90 meters of hose, so we supply 90 meters of hose. What it is it's two 6-inch hoses inside one wrap, and hydraulic lines flow through or flow through one of these hoses, and the other hose is the discharge hose, and internal pump on board the skimmer head, which pumps back through the system and into your tankage. We also build our skimming systems, our big offshore oil skimming systems, to zone 1, so explosion proof if for hazardous areas as well. We're all certified with that by DNV. And now we go to our URO 600. This is our biggest machine that we manufacture. It's 600 cubic meters an hour oil recovery, 4 brushes around the outside of the system. Again, floating hose, up to 90 meters of floating hose. And I'll show you a video. This is a URO 300 system, actually. This is offshore Japan with the PAJ, Petroleum Association of Japan. As you can see, the crane is lowering the system into place. The skimming system is being engaged. The propellers are being engaged. The system now, it's autonomous, so it can drive into the apex of an oil boom where your concentration of oil would be, and you're able to run. This has 2 large low pumps on board. Actually, this has one. This is a 300 machine. Oh, this shows it offshore, so how it can address itself in heavier seas, and is able to pick up this unit again as a 300, so 300 cubic meters an hour. Able to pump back through that floating hose system, back through the reel system, and into your ship's tankage. This gives you a little bit better of an idea of the hose deployment. So here's the crane. We're able to fully extend out 6 meters, drop the hose all the way out, and here's the skimmer head. It is able to pull out the hose with the thrusters and recover the oil, and then you're able to lift and carry the system back up to the crane via the hose. The hose has an extremely high tensile strength for this, and this is the vessel that we won the best oil spill response equipped vessel, OSRV, offshore Brazil for 3 years in a row with Asgard Navigação. This is in Rio de Janeiro, this photograph. Here's another system that we had aboard the Mar Limpo. So this was the very first vessel of its type to be built in Brazil for oil spill response, which was a first. So other offshore installations all over the world, from Egypt to Venezuela to Korea, Japan, Brazil, many places around the world. We have our large offshore systems mounted on offshore supply vessels. If the vessel is required, or if it's possible, we can plumb our hydraulic system for powering our skimming system directly to the vessel. So then you don't require a diesel hydraulic power unit. The beauty of having a standalone diesel hydraulic power unit is that you can then take this unit and pick it up and drop it on any vessel at any time. So it can be actually on the dock and in storage in your storage warehouse, and it can be dropped on a vessel of opportunity, where this unit here, it's plumbed directly into the ship, and we're saving cost, but it's also it's stuck with that ship at that time, and uses the hydraulic power from the ship. So It's kind of a win-win in this situation.